welcome to Let's Talk Nation. I'm your man, Rod Love, and sitting next to me is none other than the General, Attorney Greg Jackson.
Once again, it's on, Brother Love. Hey, you know how we get this thing started every weekend. How's this weekend for you?
Man, this weekend was great, man. Just enjoying life, but, a lot of rain, brother, a lot of rain.
Well, it's going to be more to come.
It's going to be more to come?
It's going to be more to come, and I don't...
That's our weather. That's when we get to the weatherman part, right?
Yeah, not even the weatherman part. Just because of the change in the seasons, the cool weather mixing with the warm weather, we just going to see a whole bunch of rain.
I'm so thankful for the cool weather, though.
Yeah, no doubt. So listen, I had to go over to Brevard County to meet with a client yesterday, and so while I was there, it was rain off again, and when I got back home, I'm watching the news, and there was a tornado watch or tornado warning in Brevard County. I just left there, so
wow.
I mean, this weather is getting crazy, it's getting intense, and it's happening in a matter of minutes.
But Greg, is hurricane season, is it over?
No, hurricane season doesn't end until the third week of November.
Oh, November.
So we have another 4 weeks of hurricane season. But even at that, remember, hurricanes and storms can still hit after that. This is just the highlight of the season.
Okay.
And right now we're already into the M's right now, probably a little bit more than that.
And something, and I mean, I'm a kind of get off script a little bit. Something I've been meaning to ask you, Greg, what's going on, man, with the photography, man? I haven't heard you talk about it lately.
And that's because I've been photography taking a backseat to trials.
To trials, okay.
Yeah, the backseat to trials, and also it's kind of taking a backseat to the viral news moment that I do on TikTok and things like that. So I spend a good bit of time doing that, researching and things of that nature. But listen, I still do some photography. I still get some requests and different things like that. But right now, it's taking a backseat to trial work and also building up that TikTok thing because I'm already at the point where I can monetize on TikTok.
Okay.
Now I'm about to get to the next level where I can monetize on everything up on TikTok.
Oh shit, man!
So,
You're doing that. Hey, but one other thing too, brother, and I got to tell you, man, you making me feel like a celebrity when I go to certain places.
What happened?
I've had 2 people already now at events that I've attended, and one of them I sent you a picture of, where they come up to me and say, "Rod Love, you right? Yes." And I'm like, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's
going on? I'm like, thank you so much. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what did I do? He said, thank you for introducing me to Attorney Greg Jackson.
I mean, listen, man. Listen, I do what I can do when I can do it. One of them, I know who you're talking about because I actually handled 2 cases for this person.
Okay.
It was a hard fought battle, but I got the best result. And she was very pleased, but I don't know who the other person was.
Let me tell you, she was really pleased because I was out at a function, and she saw me. I didn't recognize her, and I don't know if the gentleman is her boo or her husband. I don't know. That ain't my business. But he came up to me and shook my hand too, and then they started saying, "Attorney Greg Jackson," and thank you for making the introduction. And then they kept coming over asking me, did I want something to eat? Did they buy my dinner?
Really?
Yes.
Man, they don't even do that for me out there.
And the waitress would come by and she say, you good? And I was like, I'm fine. She say, you sure you don't want nothing to drink? And I'm like, I'm fine. And she say, well, they got you. And then I looked over and it was the same young lady. I said, boy.
Listen, man, just so long as somebody's getting some benefit.
Matter of fact, Greg, let people know what, because this is a good plug, man. Let them know what firm you work for and how to reach you, brother.
I mean, so listen, I don't know if folks know or not, but I am one of the trial lawyers, but one of the largest personal injury firms in the country, Dan Newland Injury Attorneys. I've been there going on 7 years in January.
Time is flying.
Spent 15 years more than 15 years as a defense attorney, where I learned all of the tricks of the trade, and so now I take all of those skills and I turn it around and I use it to help my clients and also to get better results, because I'm able to tell my clients, hey, if I was on the other side of this case, this is how I would attack it. These are issues, these are the troubles. I know that you're thinking this, but think this, no matter what. But and if anybody wants to get in contact with me, I appreciate that, brother Love. My number is 407-564-6604. That's 407-564-6604. You can also check out my TikTok page. It's greg.jackson.esq. Check out some nice little tidbits on viral news stories with a legal twist and all of the other stuff.
Man, you just doing that. And by the way, some of my buddies, some of who that was in attendance at this function, they started saying, Man, tell her we want something to eat. but man, that was impressive, man.
And if I recall correctly, you just kind of, I don't know how you ran into it, but you were just like, hey, here's my friend's number. And sure enough, she gave me a call. I took on her case, and then she was involved in another accident shortly thereafter. And she said, hey, can you handle this for me?
But you know what people need to know, though, Greg? And then, it doesn't hurt to give you a call, lay out all the particulars, and let you be the judge of whether or not, it's something that, the Van Newland firm is going to pursue.
Yeah. So, I mean, if nothing else, it's not bad just to get an assessment of what you're looking into or what you may be looking out for. But, man, I enjoy what I do.
I enjoy what you do, too, because it makes me, hey, I go out to places and, man, y'all catch me when I'm at Ruth Chris or something.
don't catch you at catch you at Ruth.
Yeah.
I got you, man.
That was good, though. But, Greg, man, with that being said, man, and Greg, what's taking place, man? Because a lot of people, I don't know, man, I haven't heard a lot more conversation unless we listen to the talking heads, but the update on the lockdown or the shutdown, if you would.
Well, listen, man, before we get into that, we need to let people know that they're tuned in to two of the most influential voices in Central Florida on their Monday night podcast, Brother Love, Greg Jackson, the dynamic duo guaranteed to raise your IQs 15 to 20 points. Some nights, Brother Love, we take them to 25 to 30. If you want to be a part of the night's conversation, all you have to do is hit 407-921-6195. Again, that's 407-921-6195 to talk to two of the most influential voices in Central Florida Monday night podcast, Brother Love and Greg Jackson. Brother Love, let's
get it on. All right, brother. Hey, so now we going back to the shutdown, man. I mean, what day are we in, man?
Listen, man. So we are now in day 27.
Is this a record? Is this historical?
I don't think this is a record just yet. I would have to go back and look and see when the longest shutdown was. But this is a long shutdown because there are a lot of folks in the federal government who are missing paychecks right now. And I don't care if it's for a week or 2 weeks. There's not a lot of people who can miss a paycheck. And they may they will get their monies once they're taken off of furlough, but when is that going to be?
But that's something, Greg, that has not been a conversation before, but now it's more of a conversation because the considerations now is whether or not people will get retro.
Well, they're supposed to. But I know that I've heard with this administration that they're talking about certain people not getting retroactive pay, which I think is absolutely unfair. I think that is absolutely unfair. I also heard that there were some individuals who may be terminated during this time period, which again, I think that is absolutely unfair for individuals to be working. They are taken away from their employment because Congress cannot come to an agreement on the budget, and then they lose their jobs, their livelihoods, and things like that. And I think that no matter what you think about how heavy-handed or how overburdened government is, you have to be very cognizant that these are still people's lives that you're playing with when you take away their livelihood and monies and things like that.
So one category of individual we're talking about air traffic controllers.
Listen, and that's the one that scares me the most. I'm not gonna lie to you because we heard about the incident that happened in D.C. when the commercial airliner collided with the military helicopter.
Yeah.
And we hear time and time again about these near crashes, near collisions at airports. And that's when air traffic controllers were at full strength. And right now, air traffic controllers, they are deemed to be essential workers, but they're still not being paid. And so if you're not being paid, what's really the incentive to go to work? So a lot of these people right now are waking up going to work because they want to keep people safe. They really and truly honor what it is that they do. But at some point in time, if they're not getting paid, it's only a matter of time before air traffic control centers are dwindling, and you have either more delays or more incidents happening in the air or at airports.
And Greg, another area, and I mean, you and Doc would know more about this than myself, but you also have military that's working right now and not getting paid, right?
Yeah, and I heard that there was a private donor that offered to donate $130 million to help to supplement the military, some of the military personnel who were missing in pay. And I think that is outstanding. That's great.
Yeah.
You know what I think would be even better? So listen, this is what I think should happen. I think that if there's a government shutdown and people aren't being paid, no one in government should be paid. Now, that would include the members of Congress. I don't understand how it is that members of Congress are still pulling paychecks and still, doing the things that they're doing, and they have members and people who are part of agencies, part of our military, part of our air traffic control groups, and all of the other essential agencies in my mind, that aren't being paid, but members of Congress are being paid. They, as much as they want to stand on their laurels and they want to hold out, I wouldn't have as much of a problem if they were holding out if they weren't being paid.
So on that note, and this is something you and I, we normally get into conversations from an educational or teachable moment when we're talking about how the Florida legislature operates.
Right.
But one of the things, man, I don't have clue the first about is because congressional representatives in the House and the Senate continue to get paid. In order for that to have happened, there would have had to been a law passed for that to take place. Am I right or wrong?
They would have had to have been some type of provision that says that if the government is shut down, these are the people who will continue to get paid.
Isn't that odd, though, man?
That the people who are still continue to get paid are the ones who pass the laws to continue to get paid. And listen, I want to see the people in Congress, the representatives, the senators in Congress that are saying, I refuse to be paid until these American citizens who
have you heard any yet?
I haven't heard a single one. And I'm talking about Republicans or Democrats. I don't care who it is. I would love to see the first one to stand up and say, hey, until they get paid, I'm not getting paid. But I think that members of Congress, the ones that I like and the ones that I don't like, I think that this is a selfish move on their part. Like I said, if you're going to stand on your laurels, great. I don't mind that. Stand on your laurels, but do it at your detriment as well as someone else's detriment. Don't just do it at somebody else's detriment.
Yeah. And Greg, I think maybe the same argument, man, is one to be had when you talk about impact of Social Security. And then people look at Congress and realizes that Congress is not in the same retirement plan. So, so you have to sit back and ask yourself the question, do these individuals have at risk the same thing that American citizens do?
Of course not. Absolutely not. And not only their retirement benefits, but their health benefits. Obviously, their pay benefits. There are ways that they are benefiting, while the American workers who work for the government are finding themselves in dire straits because they're not being paid right now. And I think that again, this is Greg Jackson talking. I think that is selfish. I think that if they're going to continue to shut down the government, that should include them, that they don't get paid. And if they feel like if they don't get paid, they don't have to go to work, then they should understand what these other people feel like.
Yeah. So Greg, you were just mentioning, federal agencies operating with minimum staff, federal employees missing paychecks. And you talked about air traffic controllers, but I do see Doc, looks like something's on your mind too.
Now you can't come on if you got no hat on. Hey, you can't come on if you ain't got no hat on.
Hey, and choose your hat wisely.
No hat, no talk. Hey, what Bob Marley say? No woman, no cry. No hat, no talk.
Hey, I can't stand up because I ain't got on no pants.
Hey, I know what you.
What did he say?
I don't know, but
he said he can't stand up because he ain't got on no pants.
Hey, you look
not like that. Hey, not freaky, but I ain't that freaky.
Hey, all right, Doc, go ahead. You let Greg mention for that one. Doc, what's on your mind?
Oh man,
I mean like that. You got on a jacket and shirt and short pants, man.
Hey, did you miss me, Doc? Tell me you ain't miss me, man.
Huh?
I said you ain't miss me. Tell me you ain't miss me.
Miss who?
Me.
Where you been?
You so Trump on.
I know.
Don't worry about it.
No, I'm messing with him. Hey, I'm messing with him because he don't never answer his phone. How can you miss somebody that don't answer their phone?
That's messed up, dog. I ain't gonna call
Hey,
you.
like he G14 classified.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you a funny thing.
Yeah, we miss you, man.
Let me tell you a real quick story. So I was in trial for 2 weeks, right? And so my trial partner, he is the lead trial attorney for the firm. And so, I get to the courthouse like super early. I'm always at the courthouse. So he comes in, he's like, yeah, man, he was like, I was calling you. And I was like, I didn't see you calling because apparently I was going through security when he was trying to call me. So my paralegal comes in and he'll call my paralegal. And so she's like, yeah, Greg don't never answer his phone. And he was like, yeah, I know this Greg don't never answer his phone. Is it really that bad that even the lead trial attorney at the firm, my paralegal, Doc, everybody, I do answer my phone.
Doc, I've learned.
You don't.
Hey, I've learned if I need to get access to him, man, you put certain codes in there. And
hey, my mind, I be like, Greg be looking at the phone like, what this big and Joker want?
But I don't. That's the thing. And listen, a lot of times I don't even have my phone on me, man.
You want some free legal advice?
You gotta know the code. You gotta know the emergency codes.
My bad, man. Go ahead, Doc. My bad. I cut you off, man.
Oh, but anyway, and y'all need to check this out on News Nation. What's the Cuomo guy that used to be on CNN?
You talking about the brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
New York.
He's on there, but he's got Stephen A. Smith and some senators and Congress people on there.
Oh wait.
And he
that's
makes a
the brother
valid
that was
point.
on-
The guy gets up and tells them, he's an air traffic controller and everything. He's going through this, and he wanted to get his question in because he's got to go. Guess where he had to go?
Where?
Leave so he can go to DoorDash.
Oh,
So
man.
he can make sure that his child doesn't have to drop out of college.
Man.
Yeah.
And
boy.
Stephen A. Smith made the salient point that that's the problem in Washington.
Yeah.
Washington is indifferent to the average American person's situation and circumstance, everyday people. And it's like we're living in two different nations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
What do you think about that? If
Man.
we have a government shutdown and American workers who are government workers, listen, they still serve a vital function and they're workers to provide for their families like everybody else. What do you say that if they're not getting paid, should Congress continue to get paid?
As a retired veteran, because I get military retirement. That's basically what I get. I can tell you that it's a difficult thing to deal with because while I'm still getting paid, my brothers that's in service right now are scrambling. And I can imagine if the NCOs are scrambling and the officers are scrambling, can you imagine what the enlisted are going through? Because they already, many, when I got in the military, they told us, don't get your wife until you're at least an E6. Because you can't afford one. A private cannot afford a wife. And they're right above or at the poverty line. Most of them for pay when you get down to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
the only thing that they really benefit from is the birthing, the housing, and the food.
Yeah.
And certain job classifications. But yeah, you're right. If you go by base pay, it's not great.
But I think you made the point. I don't know that you can make any better point than what Doc just said when the guy said, "Hey, I gotta hurry up and do this interview because I gotta go DoorDash so that my kid doesn't have to, drop out of college."
Yeah, man, that's the sad state of affairs. That's the sad state.
And Doc, this was an air traffic controller.
Yeah. If you can find it's a News Nation clip, and you can see him. And the thing about it is, this is par for the course right now for a lot of people, even when they go back. Okay, because they're talking about they're not going to pay these people back pay or none of this stuff.
But Doc, with that point, and Greg, I'm glad that we're talking about this because on one hand, I see exactly what you're talking about, and I agree 100% that we shouldn't be faced with the fact that here's a person who's doing a job, doing a critically important job, and not getting paid for it. But Greg, here's the other side of that coin, and it's just me talking. Since we brought up Cuomo, and this is the brother who was in the news business that I would imagine. So I'm talking about the brother that's running again, Andrew, for a position that he held before. And I'm looking at, and I'm not endorsing either side, but I'm looking at the individual that he's running against, Mamdani. And then when I look at the things that Mamdani is expecting New York taxpayers to pay for, that is the other side of the coin that I say you go to certain extremes. When you talk about actually taxpayer funded grocery stores, what about the competition out there? When you talk about transportation and continuing to put more of the burden on the taxpayers because we already know New York Transit doesn't pay for itself.
No.
But you looking at these things that he's sitting back saying that the solution and the answer to all that ills individuals in New York is for taxpayers to spend more money.
I mean, here's what's going to happen in New York. Because if Mandami gets in and he implements the things that he says he's going to implement, he's going to lose a lot of federal funding for New York City. And that's just a hard cold fact.
But you don't think corporations are going to look up like they've done already in California? You know?
No. What corporations have done something in California?
Well, no. In California, you have major corporations that have moved out of California.
Oh, moved out of Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said that they were going to step up and help supplement that loss.
You got corporations that are moving out of, and you got states like Florida and Texas that have become more attractive to corporations.
So let me ask you this, because y'all are leaning conservative. What should he do?
But
how do you address the current social problems that New York faces? You don't
do it by killing competition. That's not the way to do it. You don't do it by making people rely on government, because now the government is in the business of stocking grocery stores and things of that nature. The government is highly inefficient in what it does.
But okay, wait.
I just contradicted myself to an extent. I said the government is highly ineffective. I don't want to make it seem as if the government is ineffective because we have people that work in the government. But the government is not always the best to enter into all types and certain types of businesses.
I understand that, and my thing is, I look at the human factors in that. What do you do with the people who are starving because they can't go to Trader Joe's or whatever? What, do you just let them starve?
I mean, that's why they have EBTs. People aren't starving. But if the government gets into the business of opening grocery stores,
you say EBT, but Greg, if I have a family of 4 and I'm getting $300 a month in EBT,
are you really? Put your hat on. Are you really sitting up here and telling me, I only want you in this. Are you sitting up here telling me that the government is going to be the most efficient at addressing certain needs of the people?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
All right, what you saying?
I'm saying there are problems. They're trying to address them from a perspective, from my perspective of dealing with the human factor.
Let me ask you a question. The last time the government operated a grocery store, what was that like? We talking about block cheese. We talking about powdered milk.
Yeah.
We talking about rice. We talking about beans. The last time the government got into the business of providing food to the American people, that's what they got.
But what we're talking about, it comes down to
if it hadn't been for the federal government, a lot of people would have starved.
But where we've got to now is, Greg, what they call
nobody want that block cheese.
It's WF.
You sitting up there in a $2,500 suit and stuff talking about government cheese.
Hey, listen. I had to get it from somewhere. I had to get that hunger from somewhere.
Exactly.
So I had to deal with that coming up again.
Your circumstances ain't the average person's.
But listen, I got to where I am because of competition.
You're rich.
Because I wasn't afraid to compete. I wasn't afraid to get in there and get my hands dirty. Because I stayed up later than everybody else. Because I woke up earlier than everybody else. Because I read more than everybody else. I wasn't afraid of the competition.
But hold on, I gotta hear Doc though, because I'm really Doc. Come on, where are you going with this? Because I mean, really, what I'm saying on this issue is waste, fraud, and abuse. And so where are you going with this?
Okay. So how do you know it's waste, fraud, and abuse? Maybe you got something different.
Who? What's his plan? If he has something different, what's his plan? I want to hear.
I guess he's taking a play out of Donald Trump playbook.
Try again. I'm not going to let you
say he got a plan and never show the plan. We still waiting on the alternative. I'm going I'm deflecting and stuff, and I'm doing that.
No, but since we're here though, tell me the plan that he
No,
had.
my point is this. My point is this.
Talk about
He's got to try something.
Oh, Madame?
that ain't it though. Why doesn't he do what most
And
successful?
I asked y'all, what should he do? And that's what I just asked you
I
guys.
just told you the way that you don't do it is you don't kill competition. You don't
Okay.
come in and say we're not going to allow business and industry to function and to provide for these needs. We're going to have the government to do it, and we're going to undercut everybody. You're not going to get paid the fair value of what it is that you do. You're not going to get the food because listen, if you think that they're going to have nutrition, I'll tell you what. Let
Everybody, but listen,
Toby Jackson call and talk about that food.
Wait. You're making that a broad. You're painting that with a broad brush. Excuse me. But everybody's not going to go and shop at those places.
Well, they
You're
don't.
not going there.
Because I live in New York.
It's going to be for people who can't afford. That's who it's for. It's
Right,
not
so what are they
targeting
doing now?
everybody. He's not saying I'm gonna open this up and everybody can shop here.
Who's starving in New York now?
Oh my goodness! You don't think
No,
people
seriously,
starving?
seriously.
Yes.
When
How many
all
people-
the things that are in place, like so the government programs that they have in place right now for the schools to provide food to the children, it comes from private companies, private industry. Who's starving in New York now? Aside from possibly homeless people who still get resources, and you can't talk about the illegal immigrants or the folks that are here illegally because they're getting benefits. So who's actually starving in New York? Where you have to have the government to take over food.
You do understand that one of the things about school lunch is that a majority of the kids that get free lunch, that's the only meal they get all day. That anyway, a full meal. And you got to understand that there are circumstances y'all not familiar with.
Man, Doc, here's where I'm coming from.
And
I want to answer my question.
I
Who's
know-
starving in New York? That's what I want to know.
People are starving in New York. I don't know anybody personally that's starving, but I assure you with the just by the sheer volume
Where's
of
the organization that has
population,
come right. So where's the organization that has come forward and say these are the number of starving people that we have in New York? Because if it's happening, we're going to have the numbers on this.
Hey Doc, I'm gonna help you out here because I told you year 2 when we've been doing this, I don't go and let Greg cross-examine me. I just don't let him do it. But here's what I'm gonna say to you. I'm gonna say to you that
no, he can't beat my resources.
no, but Doc, here's
Come on, let's chat GPT it out.
y'all can find that out. Hey Doc, here's what I'm gonna say to you. I'm sorry. Hey, Rondo, we gotta get a movement on Doc.
1.2 million residents.
A star.
What is that?
But that's sort of like a signal for you. Thank you, Armando. Thank you, Armando. Hey, but he gonna
Don't cut that out.
Hey,
You the worker class. You're supposed to be with me. Don't
listen to
be
that.
I'm the worker class.
rich dudes.
Hey, but Doc, I hear everything that you're saying. But Doc, there has to be some level of encouragement or incentive. And we were saying this in year 2 when we were on the radio when the ballot initiative about minimum wage came up. And Doc, it wasn't intended to be able to raise the entire family on minimum wage. Would you agree or not?
No.
So there's an incentive. There's an incentive, Doc, for you.
Reality is
How do you expand your income?
Right. The reality of life is that life ain't fair and everybody ain't equal.
Doc, you need to make up your mind. Sometimes you on the fun, sometimes you on board, sometimes you ain't.
But Doc, Doc, and you're right. I agree with you. It's not fair. You know it's not fair.
It's called having an empathetic understanding. I'm not saying
how empathetic, Doc?
Listen, when you hear Doc on the other side, it's usually about criminals and lowlifes. Okay? But when it comes to families and people who are less fortunate and who may not have had the opportunities and the upbringing that we all had,
Doc,
I'm
you got
understanding.
Doc, but hold up, Doc. This ain't the same Doc that I be having conversations with. Doc, don't you believe? And I'm taking a scripture out of your book. Doc, you got to make opportunity for yourself.
So wait, hold on. So currently, there are many programs in New York City built to address food insecurity because ain't nobody starving in New York. It's called food insecurity, meaning that they don't have places where they're going to get food. So you have
that's just a
supplemental
hey,
nutrition
that's just a
program.
political correct way of saying I ain't getting enough
Hunger
food.
prevention and nutrition assistance program. That's 2. You have community food connection. That's 3. You have food bank for New York City. That's 4. You have city harvest. That's 5. You have Direction 5 food tools. That's 6. I mean, you have programs already in place to address these issues of food insecurity in New York. Why does the government have to take over when you have programs that allow private corporations to partner and to provide what people really need? The government does not know how to supply healthy food.
I see what's going on here.
What's that?
This doggone Doc has endorsed Madami.
That's what it is.
He endorsed
That's
Madami.
what it is.
I see what's going on
so
here.
you've been caught now, huh? How much money you sent to him, Doc?
I'm not endorsing him. Hey,
How you
I
doing?
don't have to
How much
live
money you
with
sent
the-
to
hey.
him?
no, I don't have to live with the consequence of his choices. Up there.
This joker done
That's
endorsed
what it
Madami.
is. You know what? I'm glad you pointed that out. I'm
I'm not
Only
endorsing
explanation.
Listen.
I'm sitting up
What
here, I'm
goes
trying
on
to
in
figure
New
out
York
why
doesn't
is Doc
directly
so much
impact
energy
me.
in the pushback?
So I'm not gonna endorse him. My endorsement doesn't mean anything about this guy. I'm just saying on this issue, I understand. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with all of it, but I understand.
Doc, what about those stories about individuals putting
One of the
themselves up
things-
by their bootstraps and going to excel to do more and be more? What
How
about
the
those
hell you
stories?
gonna pull yourself up by your bootstrap? You ain't got no damn boots.
Man, Doc. So you put on them sneakers that got holes in them, and you continue to work hard.
I agree.
I mean,
But what
'cause
if
I listen to your
what
stories
if you're
about.
not able?
Well, hold up, Doc. I listen to
What
your
if
stories.
you're not able?
What if you're not able? What is that a mindset? Man, he endorsed Madami.
I don't know.
Hey,
Hey, man. Hey, when you back to your normal self, why don't you
Hey,
come and talk to me, man?
hey,
You know what? Hey. I told you. Did I tell you?
Y'all are ruthless.
everything going everywhere.
See that hack
I know.
Hey, that hack
I ain't got no heart. I ain't got no heart. I ain't got no heart.
Hey, before we leave this, what I really do want to know is what is a democratic socialist? Madami.
Who thinks that government can solve the problems of the people?
I don't know what that is. I'm not endorsing the man. We talking about one particular issue. We're talking about one particular issue, and I'm giving you my viewpoint on it. I'm not saying whether he I don't know enough about him to even say whether or not he'll be a good mayor.
Or whether or not
I haven't really been following that race. Like, ooh, I hope he wins.
Okay, you know what?
Whether or not you know he's going to be a good mayor or not, he is the projected front runner of that race right now.
In double digits, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know something? Let me see where Doc turns on this.
Apparently,
Hold up. Let me see where
boots on the
Doc
ground
turns
up
on this.
there. What? So why? So okay. So if he's so terrible, why are so many people supporting him?
I mean, how often have we talked about the uneducated electorate? I mean, how many times have we talked about people when you say that you're gonna get something for free, they go for that as opposed to what really and truly makes sense? How many people believe some of the things that politicians say when once they get into office they realize that they can't do the things that they do? I think that some people are that he is in double digits because number one, New York is a very liberal city. Number two, people are believing that they're going to get something for nothing.
And that's the new thing now. Promise everybody and really deliver nothing.
Yeah, and trust me, all
Okay,
this
kind of sound like the Republican Party right now.
What is the Republican promise? Yeah, I see how he pivoted that. But you know what? I'm gonna back up. You know what?
No,
Because
just
I'm
like
looking at the clock. I'm looking at the clock,
just
and I
like
see
the
what you did.
farmers. The farmers thought that they was gonna get something for nothing, And right now, they what? They in trouble. Banks
Here's-
are failing at the fastest rate that they have ever failed at.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go back and I want to bring this thing back center when we talk about government, because I can't believe I'm hearing Doc almost say that government is the solution for everything. That
I don't
that,
understand that.
but here's something.
Don't put words in my mouth. I did not say the government is the solution for everything.
But here's something, Doc.
This provides food to
Don't put
the
words in my
hungry.
mouth.
Okay, here's something I just really want to know, and that is this, because I know it's not a simple fix. Property tax is going to be a big issue this coming legislative session.
Talking about state of Florida.
State of Florida.
Okay.
This is something Doc has talked about. You talk about it, Greg. And, you know, people sit back and reflect and think about the fact that they worked 30, 40, 50 years to pay off a property that they think they get to call all their own. And then once you pay it off, you miss one of the property tax payments. And somebody goes back there and pays that property tax and get that tax certificate.
Yeah.
How many times can that happen before you lose your home on the steps of the courthouse?
Technically 3.
3 times.
Yeah.
So you got this $300,000-$400,000 home. You haven't paid the taxes on it 3-4 years, and somebody pays the tax. And let's go ahead on the average. You pay $12,000 over 3 years on a house that's worth $500,000.
And here's the thing that what a lot of people don't know, the banks are behind this property tax thing. You know why?
Foreclosures.
Because when they sell that tax deed and they clear it, guess what gets left behind? That mortgage.
Mm-hmm. So
that mortgage is.
Well, here's the question, because a lot of people are asking this question. They see the issue that's taking place at the state. They hear local government saying, no, we need not do this. And people are trying to figure out, well, what's what? Don't both of them get it? Well, what people need to realize and understand, the state receives sales taxes that every municipality in the state of Florida gets a piece of that too. Mm-hmm. Local governments are driven and they grow based on property taxes. Predominantly, that's the major. There's other taxes in there. But
and DeSantis is slick, and I like what he's doing because he understands it's the only way that you're going to curtail and rein in local governments. Local governments are out of control.
But when you're reining in, Doc, here's the other thing I would say: you're reining in the growth of local government too. When you're looking at this issue, we don't know what's going to take place. We don't know what the fix is going to be, and I will say to you, if that becomes a ballot initiative, Greg, Doc, I will tell you, I think it's going to win way beyond the 60%. If that's the result.
Yeah, I see it coming, and I see many of these municipalities. They're going to have to fish or cut bait.
Well, here's what is going to be. I think the battle is going to be where elected leaders in local municipalities are going to be messaging out to citizens. And I think it's going to be a great deal of fear that's going to be incorporated with it when they have conversations about public safety, law enforcement, fire, infrastructure. You're correct. And you have people having conversations now because you also have the issue with Orange County in particular, public schools. Mm-hmm. They had a reduction, or at least they anticipated a reduction of about $28 million of that many less kids coming into the school system, and they equated it to 2 things. One, they equated it to a reduction in childbirth. That was one. The other issue that they talked about that impacted it was you have a lot of kids that their parents are executing school choice, using that voucher to go to private schools.
Yeah.
And so
a homeschool.
A homeschool.
Yeah.
And compounded on that, they was anticipating about 28 million, but what do you think else compounded that? Because it turned out to be a whole lot more than that. What else compounded it was the undocumented issue now across the country, where parents that are undocumented wasn't allowing their kids to go to school, and instead of a $28 million reduction, now they're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of about $53 million.
Interesting.
and
So-
and,
so-
and all of that trickles down. Now you got a reduction in the student body. You need less teachers. You need less support staff, and all of that. You need less
And,
schools.
and on top of that, whether you think it's right or wrong, and I know Greg, you and Doc have seen this, where now you see, is it charter or private schools that because of the vacancy rate in a lot of public schools around the state, they're saying we could utilize that space. And so now I think there's a bill, I don't know if it's passed or it's navigating through the legislature, that is now going to allow charter schools, private schools,
operate inside public schools.
Correct. But again, and I'm gonna come back full circle. I think, and at some point in time, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Somebody who was very articulate when they used to have these discussions is a governor by the name of Jeb Bush, when he used to talk about the growth of government across the board. And I think when you're talking about this property tax issue, I think that is going to directly start impacting how local governments grow too. And I'm not saying I know if governments are overgrown here or overgrown there, but you look at your property tax bill and you have to scratch your head and wonder, where is this all going?
Well, when I go to a government office and I see 4 or 5 people walking around with coffee cups, and they seem to be perusing and all of that, I don't like my tax dollars being used like that. I want results, and we've become a nation that we expect low performance. Today, this morning, I'm in my Bob the Builder phase. Rod knows. and I ordered some stuff from Home Depot. Right? Paid them to deliver it. I get up. They set the stuff on the side, leaned up against my house. Didn't ring the doorbell. Just left it there. Why did I pay you?
We talked about this 6 years ago, Greg and Doc, when we were talking about automation and people were complaining at the time, and we say, okay, be careful.
Yeah. All right, but listen, because we're gonna start losing people. We keep talking.
Hurricane.
About we keep talking about this.
Hurricane.
We go. People already.
All right.
They're like, what?
I'm going to call
Mandami.
Madame.
You gonna call your homeboy?
Yeah.
Hey, Greg.
Homeboy.
This hurricane is named after somebody who's not just a good friend to the show,
Man,
but
I ain't
also.
gonna even do that.
You ain't gonna do that?
No. We don't want to say that. We don't want to make Harry into.
Oh, okay. We ain't gonna do that. Okay,
That's a destructive.
Hey, but it's the strongest storm right now on the planet this year.
Yeah, listen. So, Hurricane Melissa, for those who have been following track of this with this storm, as we typically do here in the state of Florida, we've been watching this storm develop over the past week or so. And today, it has reached Category 5 strength. It has currently 175 mile per hour winds, sustained winds. They are projecting that it is going to make landfall in Jamaica. So, thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Jamaica, because a Category 5 storm anywhere, and much less an island nation, can be potentially devastating. And so this storm is projected to have 40 inches of rain, 13 feet of storm surge. This can have devastating effects on Jamaica, but not just Jamaica, because this is making this route through the Caribbean region. And so, the people in Haiti and Dominican Republic, that's one island. I don't know why they separated, but that's one island, Haiti and Dominican Republic. Bahamas, for those who like to vacation in Bahamas, and also our friends and neighbors in the country of Cuba are projected and are in the path of the storm. And so thoughts and prayers go out to them as they prepare for the storm.
Greg, I wouldn't, we got to leave on this note, but man, we got to recognize Lady D, who we worked over at the same station. Yeah. And I think she's WOKB. Lady D, and she.
That's not Lady Drink.
No.
Lady D.
Yeah, Jamaican descent. You know who I'm talking about. She's been over there for years, and I just happened to
I know you're talking about.
see her on the news the other day, and I mean, she has been just man strong in the Caribbean community, man, and you know her leadership. I mean, you see it shows, man, and just want to go ahead and say to her, keep up the good work that you're doing because she is actually out there, man, helping people get ready for what's taking place.
I mean, listen, absolutely. But, you know, again, if we've seen even here in the state of Florida just last year with the hurricanes, the storms that hit in North Carolina that completely decimated Asheville, North Carolina, the storms that took place in Georgia, the storm that took place, and there was just a rainstorm that wiped out an area in Texas. I can only imagine what a Category 5 storm, the effects can have on Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and the Bahamas.
Greg, you know, I hate the fact that we got stuck on an election in New York when we got a hot one that's coming up November the 4th.
Man, yeah, scorcher. That's not hot. That's a scorcher.
So Greg, what have you been seeing about this?
Oh man. So you know, we've been following this special election. Not a special election now, but it was a special election that where Shane Rose was elected as a District 5 commissioner when Commissioner Regina Hill was removed by Governor Ron DeSantis. And so now the election cycle has come about, and there is an election coming up. Early voting starting today, October 27th. The election is going to be next Tuesday, the regular election, which is November 4th. And you know, this is a race that has 3 individuals. One of which, and we've invited all to come and speak to us, but one of which actually came on the show, had some conversations with us in the form of Mr. Wanda Gelzer. But you also have former Commissioner Regina Hill and Commissioner Shan Rose, Interim Commissioner Shan Rose. And there have been some hot, testy moments because apparently this is no longer a conversation about the candidates and how they plan to lead District 5. This has become personal, where now they're bringing in family, they're bringing in children. And, you know, I just saw today, I don't know if you saw the clip on Facebook, where it appears that, you know, former Commissioner Hill, Interim Commissioner Rose almost came to blows. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it that way, but it was a confrontation. It's something that people should not have to endure in District 5 when we're talking about who's going to lead, who has the decorum, who has you know, the wherewithal to lead. And this is just not a good look for either Shan Rose or Commissioner Hill, because I think that both of them are talented and have the ability to lead. You know, but this also, you know, opens the door to have folks to look close at LaWanda Gelzer, who has stayed pretty much above the fray, aside from being accused of, my understanding of working with the FBI and the CIA against Commissioner Hill, which there's no proof or evidence of that. But she's just been able to stay above the fray, and this is forcing people to look in another direction of a commissioner who is not going to be into this pettiness right now.
And Greg, on that note, though, you're looking at the city of Orlando, the largest municipality in Orange County. But in addition to that, you're talking about you have 5 seats within the city. Just your thoughts, Greg, a little bit, because the county is going to be expanded by 2 seats.
Yeah.
They have to work together to some degree, but I think that level of working together, it just predominantly, based on what I've seen, has risen to the top, where you have the mayor of the city and the mayor of Orange County. Any anticipated impact or effects based on Orange County expanding the number of seats with the city?
So Orange County expanding really has not had a real significant impact on the city and the mayors at this juncture. Actually, it actually gives some relief to some of the other commissioners, because it reduces the area
Population.
and the number of individuals that they are that they're representing, which I think is helpful not just to the commissioners but for the individuals, because now it's potentially where they have more of a direct connection and are able to have a relationship with the people who are there to lead. Now, one of the things that I think has affected the mayor's race in Orlando, however, is Anna Eskamani, who is running for mayor of Orlando. And there's a lot of buzz and a lot of talk that Buddy Dyer may not be stepping away from politics after all, and that he may be considering another run for mayor. I don't know how true it is just yet. We'll know.
Greg, how many
once
other
everything is in
candidates
place.
have basically come out to say that they're running for the city aside from Representative Escamani?
So she is the only one that I know of. There's a lot of buzz around Commissioner Ortiz, Tony
Okay.
Ortiz, running for mayor of Orlando. Back when he was still spry, there was a lot of talk about Robert Stewart running for mayor, but Buddy Dye wanted to continue to run, and Robert Stewart, good guy,
Yeah.
didn't want to find himself in the not necessarily the crosshairs, but going against the mayor. So
Yeah.
he sat back and waited. But now I think that he's just lost interest in running. That's just my personal take on it. But she is the only one right now that I know of any I hate to say substance, but for lack of a better term, substance who has actually declared for that race.
And she's been out so early, and just not seeing the aggressiveness of anybody else as of yet.
Right.
People are noticing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Greg, here's something, man, and I can't let us get down all the way to the wire, man, because I want to give you time to dive into this. Greg, the breaking news that has rocked the NBA.
Yeah, and listen, apparently this is something that may rock the sports industry as a whole. For those who do not know, last week, the coach of the Portland Trailblazers, excuse me, former Detroit Piston, Chauncey Billups, was arrested because of a game-fixing poker scheme.
X-ray tables, Greg.
X-ray tables. Apparently, they had glasses that could look through cards. They had card shufflers that could manipulate who gets what cards, and so you would know who had the best hand, or it was better to predict who had the better hand. And this was in conjunction with, apparently, with some of the prominent crime families, news term, not mine, Gambino, Bonanno, the Genovese, the Lucci's, or whatever it is. I apologize if I said that wrong, but it was connected to the crime families. Now that's Chauncey Billups. In addition to Chauncey Billups, apparently Terry Rozier, who is a veteran guard with the Miami Heat, was found to be a part of some sports betting scheme where he would take himself out of games.
And let people know in advance.
Yeah. So if anybody had the over/under as to the number of points he would score, if his team was going to win, he would get a profit and a benefit from not playing in the game.
Greg, that thing went so deep to the point that allegedly what the news has been reporting is these individuals that knew of other players from other teams that they had relationships with, or knew somebody that had a relationship, that would give them information that this person hurt, they're not going to be playing, but
right. Right. And so based on that, because listen, I mean, a lot of the sports betting is based upon, I mean, listen, even with, I haven't heard much about fantasy football lately, but a lot of this is based on who's playing. If a star player is playing, then hey, they're probably going to win the game. Like if LeBron James is playing or not playing, that's probably going to dictate whether or not the Lakers are going to win.
And those bets are so, and I'm not a better, Greg, but those bets are so crazy to the point that they're betting on how many points the person gets close to, or under, over, and all that kind of stuff. So but here's the thing: the day before this news broke, the NCAA passed a rule that now college players can now bet on games.
Yeah, they can bet on professional games. And how much longer before college players can bet on college games? And how much longer before a scandal rocks college football, college baseball, college basketball, where players are, taking themselves out of games because, now players make money on NILs, and if they cannot bet, I mean, I think that this further taints the sanctity of the game, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a bettor.
We're talking about NBA, but Greg, that's not the only professional sport out there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they just recently reported that in the NFL, Antonio Gates, Hall of Fame tight end, that he's been implicated in a fixed game scheme. And so, listen, here's the thing. I don't know how many people watch boxing. Adrian Bronner was recently arrested because of a fixed craps game. If you watch and if you listen to what happened to Takeoff with the Migos, apparently a part of that was based on that being a fixed
Right, so
crap
there must be
games.
some serious money at the table.
It's serious money, and people are potentially losing their lives because of these betting schemes. And I'm not a gambler. I don't bet. I mean, I may go like I think I told everybody the story about when I went to Malaysia, played baccarat for the first time, won a whole bunch of money, and walked away from it and never played baccarat again. It was stupid beginner's luck. I know it, and I never played again.
So tell me this, man. How does this differ? Because one of the most famous persons who really was exiled because of betting on sports was Pete Rose. How does this differ from Pete Rose?
So listen, I mean, and that's a great question. That's a great point. So Pete Rose, listen, this guy has all the records, all of the prominent records in baseball that you will never hear of and that he will never get credit for because he was banned from baseball for betting on baseball to include times when he betted on the
Did he
team.
ever get in the Hall of
No, they won't let him in the Hall of Fame. He's been banned from baseball. Now, there are people who are working on trying to remove that, and I think they should. Honestly, truly, I think that his ban has been long enough. It's been going on 30 years now. But the difference between what happened with Pete Rose and what's happening now is that baseball, they were the ones who took the step to say, hey, listen, you're betting on games, and we're going to ban you. The FBI, he was never arrested, never implicated, never indicted. Because baseball, they stepped up and they were the ones who shut that down. Now, baseball turns its head to other things. I mean, how much have we heard about, performance-enhancing drugs and other things like that?
bat scandals.
The bat scandals. And I'm sure that there are players now who are betting on baseball, even their own teams, that are not going to be punished for that because it's okay now. But yeah, with Pete Rose, it was baseball that took action.
So great, but really no difference. I mean, based on what he was doing.
No difference at all. And no different than what they are allowing players to do to this very day. And I think that, listen, maybe Pete Rose was ahead of his time.
But to your point, because we got one other topic that we've been putting off, and I want you to really dive into it.
Yeah.
But, Greg, the one thing when we talk about this bet, when the folk were actually talking about the harm that it's going to do to professional sports, at the ticker, guess what was running down underneath the ticker when they were talking about the betting scandal and what's good?
Probably the over-under on certain games.
FanDuel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they say it's everywhere. So how can you possibly get your arms around it to even start trying to manage or control it or regulate it now?
I mean, listen, like I said, I am not a bettor. I'm most certainly not a fan of of people betting on games, especially those individuals who play that sport. I think that the MLB, Major League Baseball, had it right the first time when they found that they had a coach, a player coach, who was betting on baseball, and they removed him from the league. I think that that's what should be done. I think that players should not be allowed or permitted to bet on games because it leads to this type of scenario where they can be tainted, where they can see a way to make a couple extra $100,000 if they take themselves out of a game or if they miss a few shots and things like that. And I mean, this reminds me. Remember the Blue Chip, the movie, one of the first movies that Shaquille O'Neal was in. Was in there. And so where they had a kid who was missing shots, and they watched it on the video. Oh my God, he's dirty. He's a dirty kid.
Yeah.
And I was just like, people are doing it, and no one. They act as if they're none the wiser.
Well, the question is, what else can happen in this? And I think just what we've been talking about, it can only get worse.
I mean, listen, how much sooner? Because people bet on high school games too.
You're right.
How much sooner before this becomes an issue with high school sports?
Great. Are you gonna get to the point where we're gonna put this on the back burner again? Because
we ain't got no time for that.
This is good.
Yeah,
this is good. So, that's the cliffhanger. So, I guess at the end of the day, man, just looking and having a conversation about where we're at, man, with sports and betting, man. I think it's gonna get worse, especially in college.
Now, listen, and listen. So we just talked about that part. We haven't talked about, like you said, we kind of touched on it. The rigged poker games. And, now this is tied to crime families. I mean, how big is this thing going to get? And across what all sports is this going to touch? So like we said, this is just Major League. And here's a funny thing, too. Terry Rozier was investigated by the NBA for 2 years, and they found nothing.
So it took the feds to come in to find something.
So who's to say that the NBA, who invests in and promotes sports betting, is not complicit as well?
It's gonna be interesting when
It's
it all
gonna be very
comes out.
interesting. Very interesting.
Well, hey, my friend, at the end of the day, man, it's just gonna give us more things to have a conversation about.
Absolutely.
Hey, Greg, I'm glad to have you back.
I appreciate it. Unlike Doc, he didn't even say welcome back.
Yeah, Doc, I think Doc a little bit upset right now. Hey, but Greg, man, look forward to next week, brother.
Absolutely.
But I know one thing that you got to do, man. And
Yeah, I
hate
just
to say
got
it
off
to
the
you.
phone with
What's
Ma'am Diamond. He said y'all some haters.
Hey, Doc.
Telling me right.
Hey, my brother, I tell you this, man. Hey, man, you don't have to go home.
But you gotta get out of here.
Until next week on Let's Talk Nation. Hey, join Attorney Greg Jackson and myself. Hey, we're gonna light it up. We'll see you next week.